Notes from a cultural exchange researcher tasked with keeping notes on human behavior. Weapons in space are a complicated issue. In the early days of crossing the Great Expanse, it became apparent that having projectile weapons in the tight spaces of a starship was an extreme risk. A normal race might have realized that perhaps weapons should not be on starships in the first place, or in the event that they are, be incapable of dealing significant damage. Many opted for concentrated light and sound-based weapons as a last resort. Humans, on the other hand, took one look at this problem and by some Herculean leap of logic, concluded that swords were the answer. That's right, swords. Where a gun might breach the protective inner hull of a ship and a laser tended to be very easily reflected, swords had none of these problems humans reasoned. A bladed weapon in space only became an issue if they were too long. The swords the humans had were 16 to 32 inches in length and razor sharp. Provided proper restraint was used, damage should be minimal and rare. Granted, the crews of human sailors could get rowdy, but somehow they managed to fight with ancient weapons that had been drug into the modern era of technology. Naturally, it was not apparent that they were proficient with such an archaic weapon, or they might have never been allowed onto diplomatic stations. They were believed to be a ceremonial symbol of an officer's rank, so no one gave it a second glance. It took a pirate lord having his elite crew cut to ribbons after trying to board a human merchant ship for the danger they posed to become clear. 20 humans, all equipped with laser-deflecting armor, not only managed to board and take the pirates' ship, but do so without a single loss. They then towed the newly liberated ship back into port and delivered traumatized and dismembered pirates to the medical bay of the local security patrol. Not content to merely make use of swords, the humans continued to improve their technology until their engineers discovered a way to make a stable beam of plasma which just so happened to form a dark red blade. Ignoring what seemed to be a perfectly reasonable name of plasma saber, humans dubbed the new weapons cutters and claimed that the production company feared some sort of copyright that might have prevented the cutters from being deployed. Stars forbid that humanity takes the sane option for once. What made it worse was the usage of the weapons seems to drive the users insane as far as anyone watching could tell. Humans wearing a respirator would, without fail, declare to anyone they were facing that they were indeed that person's father, often mistaking them for some person named Luke. Despite the best efforts of multiple investigators, no one has been able to identify the Luke that they are being mistaken for. Attempts have been made to ask the humans seen doing these things what they mean, but none of the answers given made any sense. The strange behavior of humans multiplied when yet another advancement allowed for a hotter green and a much more efficient blue. This development split humans into two semi-adversarial groups. The ones favoring the newer cutters dubbed themselves a word that has yet to be translated, Jedi, while the group of traditionalists appears to dislike the higher levels of visible light the newer cutters produce. They have repeatedly defended the power and effectiveness of the dark side. Cultural researchers continue to seek out the source of these mysterious behaviors.